I used to get so happy.
Okay.
You know who's got the whole playbook open to them and still came out with an L? Jameis Winston. After his 5-touchdown performance in Week 1, when he seemed to have carte blanche out there, he came back down to earth in Week 2. He struggled against the Panthers. No touchdowns, 2 picks in this one, and a loss. Panthers 26, Saints 7. Nobody's eaten W's after this. Here was Jameis after the game.
I just got to do a better job communicating. I think that's the biggest thing. We have to continue to push forward, and like I say, eliminate the negatives and just build on the positives, man. We like, I've been a part of these games before. A lot of people have been a part of these games before, but we can't let this game affect us heading to next week.
All right, so, Mike, let me ask you this. Which is closer to the real Jameis Winston? The 5 touchdowns we saw in Week 1 or the 2 picks from him we saw in Week 2?
I'm a little confused about what happened yesterday after the Week 1 performance. I'll have to go back and watch that game closely just to see what happened. Was it sudden changes of possession? Was it turnovers? What led to Jameis throwing 5 touchdowns, and then what led to him throwing 2 interceptions yesterday and kind of having a funky game? He said in the press conference, this is a game that they can't let seek in terms of their psyche on a negative, from a negative standpoint. But this just can't consistently happen for Jameis. He's way better than that. He's a better quarterback than what he put on display. And I expected them to win that game yesterday and get the 2-0. So I'm a little disappointed in what I saw.
Yeah, I'm with you, Mike. I mean, I'm a believer in Jameis. I've called him a dark horse. Dark horse. We had to make a bold prediction. I said, hey, I'll throw out Jameis, maybe being an MVP candidate. But I'm going to stick with him. I still believe in him. And I think he's closer to the guy that threw the 5 touchdowns. He won't throw 4 or 5 touchdowns a game, obviously. I do think he'll get up there in the 30-plus range of touchdowns. But I'm wondering if he got overconfident. And you hate to say that at this stage of his career, and he already has been humbled, right, by just getting, thrown out of Tampa Bay and being benched for a year in New Orleans. So I get all that, but I'm wondering if he got overconfident and just wasn't as prepared as he needed to be. So hopefully he will be, by the way they trounced the Packers, hopefully he will be better next week. But look, some of these interceptions, they're bad throws, but a lot of players have made this. This one interception where he's getting tackled as he's throwing the football. We saw Baker Mayfield, and we also saw Pat Mahomes make similar interceptions. So that is something that quarterbacks do, and they got to stop doing, especially Jameis, Nick.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, we saw Baker and Mahomes make similar throws. No, they weren't games where they went 11 of 22, and of course, yeah. And Baker and Mahomes games where they threw a pick similar. It was just like Jameis's yesterday. This team scores 1 touchdown, you're 11 of 22, and you're outright miserable.
He's getting hit.
Yeah, no, of course. Listen, but I'm not surprised that Jameis played like this. I think very differently about the Saints and their chances on offense this year than most people. We'll see how this is. I think we're going to see more games like this than we're going to see another 5-touchdown, 0 interception game, I'll tell you that much. But even though Broussard and I have kind of been going back and forth today, I do still love him and care about him. So, Broussard, be careful. You could crack your head open on that monitor if you backtrack any further on your Jameis Winston MVP take. That was a take. You owned it. You have it. You can't all of a sudden just run from it.
It was a bold prediction.
The producers made me. Oh, Sam Pepper bullied me into doing it. You a grown-ass man. Your bold prediction. Sometimes it goes sideways on you. Through 2 weeks, it's going a little sideways on you, my man.
Nick is a bitter man this morning.
That's real.
Nick is just a bitter guy. We got to chat once more about the brunt of the reason for Nick's bitterness. The Chiefs' first loss of the season. Will that Kansas City defense keep them from winning the Super Bowl this year? Find out next. First things first. Mike, thank you. Back here, first things first, time for But First. Nick, you are still talking about last night's Chiefs-Ravens game.
Yeah, I am. But first, let me talk about a Twitter feed that has grown in popularity over the years, despite the fact that it's just built on plagiarism and intellectually bankrupt activity, and that's Freezing Cold Takes. So Freezing Cold Takes Twitter feed, that, posts bold predictions of those of us in the media like, oh, you can't see the future, you idiot. And I obviously don't follow them, but this was sent to me. And I'm like, oh, that looks like the committee's preseason tiers. Take a look. And it was posted by Freezing Cold Takes, ostensibly because the Chiefs lost. To which I would say to the doofus that runs the account, do you not know the importance of punctuation when it comes to the English language? There's a question mark after 20-0 up by the Kansas City Chiefs, which means 20-0? Maybe. Is there an exclamation point? No. Is there a period? No, sir. Semicolon? That wouldn't make sense. No punctuation. Nope. A question mark, which means it was actively put there to tell you they might do it, they might not do it. So what the hell is Freezing Cold about that? Speaking of terrible tweets with bad grammar, let's show colleague Colin Cowherd's tweet. Right after the game, Lamar, king of the AFC QBs. First of all, wrong. Second of all, that apostrophe doesn't go there, Colin. That is not a contraction, nor is it possessive. Get rid of the apostrophe, save a character so you can put more nonsense bile out into the universe for your 1.4 million followers. That's all, Jenna. That's all I got.
Also
just grammar tips and good takes.
Oklahoma leading Nebraska 23-9. Cornhuskers, 4th and 18, trying for a late touchdown. But Oklahoma's DJ Graham, interception of the century, I'm calling that. Interception of the century. Here's the problem. By letter of the law and strategy-wise, probably should have batted it down. I know you don't want to hear it. Probably should have batted it down. We take a look at what the coach had to say after the game. He said, you know what? Probably should have thrown a flag on that. I might have been the first coach in history to challenge a play we got an interception on. I was hoping it would have gone down. Kind of right. Kind of right. Oklahoma went 3 and out. Next thing you know, Nebraska scored another touchdown 3 plays later after the punt. So here's the thing. We all agree that this was an amazing interception, and we all agree you probably should have batted it down field position-wise. So here's the new situation that we've got here. Just how referees can use their judgment on what is a negative play, whether an unsportsmanlike penalty play or just something negative, 15 yards. You have, instead of a yellow flag, in this flag, it's an Hermes scarf. It's an Hermes scarf from Haralabog's dog. You take it and you throw it out when you see something beautiful happen. Say, oh my God, that was a beautiful play. You throw it out and you get to move 15 yards up. Because you get to the 17-yard line. So that is right. 1 yellow flag, 1 Hermes scarf. It costs $1,000. You can buy it with Bitcoin.
Nick, you're such a Wild, you're such a beautiful weirdo.
For like 7 people.
Love it. It's so funny. Play a little draw to blank. Lamar Jackson refusing to lose last night. Wasn't falling to 0-4 versus Mahomes, so he ran for 2 touchdowns in the 4th quarter of the Ravens' 1-point win last night. Pretty special performance, but Broussard, the Sunday performance that caught your eye was blank.
It was Derek Carr. Derek Carr was sensational for the 2nd straight week against another AFC powerhouse. Last week they beat the Ravens, who you may have heard beat the Chiefs yesterday. And they beat Pittsburgh yesterday, and Derek Carr was fantastic. And it's not just that he put up great numbers, over 300 yards and 2 touchdowns, no picks in the victory, but it was the circumstances. 3 of his starting offensive linemen out. His star running back, Josh Jacobs, out. So they got no running game. They're getting 2 yards per carry against one of the best defenses in the league, a defense that shut down last year's MVP runner-up, Josh Allen, just a week ago. And it is not an overstatement to say that Derek Carr is playing like an MVP. I'm not saying he's going to win it. I'm not predicting it. But he is playing like an MVP right now and firmly in the race as early as we are. He spread the wealth, didn't focus just on Darren Waller. He got everybody involved. And the 61-yard touchdown pass he threw to Henry Ruggs, the speedster, could not have been thrown any better. He hit him completely in stride, Nick. Derek Carr was fantastic.
Yeah. It's rare someone on sports television get a question as wrong as Broussard just got this one. The question could have been the Sunday performance by Derrick that caught your eye, and he still would have been wrong, because it's Derrick Henry was the best Derrick and the best Sunday performance. After a bad week 1, all of a sudden back on pace for 2,000 yards, 182 yards, 107 of those and 2 touchdowns came after the Seahawks trailed by 14 in the 4th quarter in Seattle. The Titans keep their season, I don't want to say alive because it wouldn't have been dead, but they steady the ship. Derrick Henry reminds everyone why he is far and away the best running back of his generation and one of the 2 best running backs of this century, 2000 and now, along with Adrian Peterson. Marshall Faulk probably mixed in there as well, actually. But Derrick Henry was the best performance of the weekend. The only thing that topped Wild's Derrick Henry's performance was your butt first. And for the 6 people that got the Hermes scarf joke and the Haralabob reference, I hope you're still laughing, because that was micro-targeted to about 5 Americans watching right now. You know what? But it was great. I was one of them, and I loved it, Wilds.
That's right. That's the new media paradigm. It's small but passionate. In any event, my answer is Jets quarterbacks, past and present. We're talking about the past. Oh, Sam Darnold and the Carolina defense, and Christian McCaffrey and Robbie Anderson looking amazing. Meanwhile, Zach Wilson's like, am I playing North Alabama like I did at BYU? Nobody. That's the greatest franchise in the history of sports. I don't know why you're trying to sling the ball around on Bill Belichick's defense, but I appreciate it because J.C. Jackson now has 2 interceptions on his way to leading the league. So